Yeah, grinder time. I'm not looking forward to that either. I might actually see if I can melt a little more off. There's a lot of grinding there. And it's Friday morning. And Friday morning here is garbage day. But when they throw a holiday in, usually they bump it back a day. So Becky checked. And oh yeah, in the big bold print, holiday will be, the next day. Everything would be off one day. Like, hey, Thursday's a holiday, so those who got their garbage normally picked up on Thursday would be Friday. Those of us who normally are Friday would be Saturday. Yeah, guess what? She didn't see the fine print that said Thanksgiving apparently didn't count as a holiday to them. So the other thing is, they used to say they didn't expect a can up there until 7 a.m. Yeah, can's been up there for almost 10 minutes now, but they went by 5 minutes before that. But I think it's recycle day, and the recycle is usually before everything. Even though you're only not supposed to have it up there, till 7. But hopefully they go by again, and they will pick it up. They're usually decent about that, because they go by here more than once. Oh, we'll find out. We'll either have way too much garbage for next week, and they'll be unhappy because there'll be 2 or 3 extra cans. Or whatever. Spin you around. Oh, I didn't check back here yet. I had a mouse in here the other day. I must have got, maybe there was only one. Yesterday morning I came in and took a day and a half to get them, but I came in and that trap had a nice big fat sucker in it. There's too many places in here for them to hide. Even these blue trays, the way they're made at the ends, the little bit of slope there, even though you get it against the wall right here, mice still got room to cruise through. And the sideways they can sneak through. It doesn't happen very often, just once in a while. Which brings me to the cookie jar. It's been years ago. We needed a toolbox on a tractor. We never did put it on. And about the best ones, John Deere does a good toolbox. It's got a good mount. You can take it off. We usually bolt everything on solid. That toolbox, I think, was actually bought for the $33.94. Might have even been before that for the $22.94. Never put on. Now it's a catch-all. We used to call that the cookie jar, because Dad would sneak a pack of cookies out of the house and throw in there, and we had something to snack on for a few days. And in that, the mice can't get in it at all. They'd be all over. I mean, you'd come out here in the morning and you'd find sign of mouse all the way around it. They knew it was in there, but they couldn't get to it. It was funny. Oh, well, with that, I'm going to, hey, hi, you can see me. I'm going to start getting something done in here, because it's definitely too dark out there to do too much. And all the LED lights on the loader, they work really good. You can see just how foggy it really is this morning. Hey, looky there. Nice and pretty and shiny. I kept going back over it, just washing more and more with the plasma. And yes, I dug a little bit, but the interesting thing is that little chunk of weld right there, and then the mark around, and then kind of tails over. So I'm kind of wondering, I mean, it was a farmer building these things in his shop, well, in his barn, however he was doing it. And you never know where you might get the materials. And maybe with where he's at, there used to be quite a few lumber mills down in that area. That could be a shaft out of a green chain or something, and may have had a little failure, kind of like that weld here. That could have been where there was a keyway in it, and they only ground down what they needed for the bearing. And could have been a keyway that got peeled out and a set screw that spun around it. It's almost what that looks like. It doesn't really look like it was welded in that groove. It looks like something spun through it. And that would explain why it comes off to the side. But who knows? And, you know, little pock marks here. That's not anywhere where I cut or anything, and there's paint in the bottom of them. And these are the ones I noticed first. And the two little scuffs, if I can get there and those marks. I didn't do that, so, you know, somewhere along the line it got ended up somehow. Still got this end to do. And I thought when I saw that, looks like a keyway welded on there to keep the bearing from coming on any farther. I assumed that was a stop for the bearing, but then there's nothing on this end. So, you know, that could have been a key that was holding something else on whatever it was on before. But I'm just using the little grinder with a flap disc, and it's going pretty good. I know I got a good gouge on that one. I can see that without even grinding on it. I may or may not worry about the gouges. Paint will cover it. That, or maybe a gusset will cover it. Who knows? We'll see. If I worry about them, I'll weld them up and grind them off. So that's what I'm doing. Looky there, all nice and pretty. This end's got a couple little spots too. There was a weld right in here and right in here, so yeah, used off something, but it's here. It'll work. Center's the only thing that wasn't covered up. Yeah, now to figure out what to do with it. Okay, you already seen I got it cleaned up. Got the center marked. Tire and wheel in here. I was hoping to do it without breaking that down, but I'm probably going to break it down. I was thinking about taking another center I have that'll off of one of the other wheels and putting it on the other direction in there and doubling that up. But it's like, nah, be too much work, too much pain in the butt, and add more weight than we need. So I'm gonna probably cut a piece of 1/2-inch plate about 14 inches in diameter. We'll weld in on the flat part of that wheel. And this shaft is 2 7/16. Actually, it's just a touch oversized. So cut a hole to fit the shaft. And the piece will set right in here all the way around. So it'll tie into here more, which is more in the center of the wheel. And then gusset it. But welding all the way around here is close enough to the rim that I don't want to take a chance. We'll break it down. In the meantime, while I was sitting there figuring this stuff up, and number one and Steve were out feeding, I was sitting there in that chair, and I was like, why do I smell burning wood? I still don't know why. The old furnace back here has been here for a long time. Honest, I can't tell you how many years. It's been a long time. Whenever they tore the old fire station down at Midway and built the new one, because that's when we got it. Need 1-inch clearance around everything, which we have. Been a while since things have been blown out back here. Not that you can see much. Found a piece of styrofoam insulation against the back of it, but it was not melted to the back. Wasn't even melted. It's like, that's weird. Don't know how long it's been there. Really not sure what's going on. So we blew everything out all around it. The junk on top is actually what we used for filler. It was supposed to be high temp stuff. Yeah, right. You can hold your hands on those all day long. I still don't know where or how we got the smell in here. And when number one and Steve came in, Steve kind of like, well, it smells more like if you burn noodles in a frying pan after you drain it out or something. I don't know. But I have not found anything. No wood that's hot. I mean, that old 2x6 is like that from the wood stove that used to sit here. So is that one. And we used to get that whole wall smoking. I mean, the tin's even discolored from that, but it's never gotten that warm with this, and I just don't freaking know. So I just kicked her up to 70 and ran it. And the only thing I'm seeing that's kind of funky, which might explain the smell that Steve was smelling, our draft control is staying open. The little breeze outside could blow a little bit of soot back in and enough to smell. So I'm not sure if that might have something to do with it. I mean, inside of the firebox looked all right through the inspection hole. Don't know. So just to be safe tonight, I'm going to kick that switch off as soon as it cools down. And yeah, tomorrow's another day. Moved some stuff around. I was going to try to finish straightening the tongue on that trailer, but I didn't get to that yet. It's sitting right outside the shop door now because we had to move it. I was going to make a phone call about seeing if anybody had any of these bearings, but I don't know. They might be just fine the way they are. You know, it's a little bit rough. It's not real bad. I have no idea when the last time it was greased was. You know, it was, you know, hadn't been used in 12 or 15 years. And right there's a little rough spot. Then it's a little better. So it's like it's one or two balls that may have got a little moisture in them. No, the seals aren't the best, but if you grease it every time you put it on, it should last a long time. So we may not even mess with that. I don't know. And if I don't mess with that, that plate I make for the middle might end up being a split plate. That way I don't got to pull the bearings off because they're set right where they need to be. And I really don't want to go through all the BS of messing with that. Don't take much to split the plate. And for where the gusseting will go, I can weld that on without overheating the bearings. So that's my Friday. So hopefully all of you had a good Thanksgiving. Those of you could actually have enough people in your house to have family over. I got to thinking about it today. State of Oregon, you couldn't have over 6 people in your house for Thanksgiving. Our governor didn't say anything about Good Friday, and I mean, there's crowds at the stores today, so, I mean, not Good Friday, Black Friday, you know what I meant. I'm thinking about what Thomas Farms was saying. He keeps saying Good Friday. It ain't Good Friday, it's Black Friday. Anyway, thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe if you haven't. You know, they say it's free. Well, there's somebody y'all haven't seen for a while.
Hi.
Bean showed up just at the right time. I was thinking about him today. It's like, God, it'd be nice if Ben showed up. So, a lot easier for him to do this than me. After all, I mean, he did work at a tire shop. After all, his dad still does. And he's just been sitting there telling me about stopping by with a log truck the other day because he had a low trailer tire and ended up helping his dad work on some skidder tires. 20-ply skidder tires. They're fun. Anyway, so look, now I might even work on this wheel tomorrow. We'll see. Maybe. So, anyway, I just thought I'd let you see Ben. He's still alive. He's still kicking. He's been busy at night trying to get his sister's pickup running, and he was telling me he thinks they figured out why with everything pretty much new on it, they can't get it running. Whoever rebuilt the heads didn't make sure the exhaust valve seated good enough. So it's got a little whistle to it. In the mean, yeah, and it's not turbocharged. It's not supposed to have a whistle. It's just a 7.3. So anyway, yeah, a little extra at the end of the video for you.